Day 3, as our search for Donnie Messier continues here in Waterbury, Vermont. Day 1, we found the potential vehicle here in the Winooski River. Day 2, yesterday, we confirmed it was in fact the vehicle that belonged to Donnie. And today, we're working with law enforcement to recover the vehicle and hopefully find the remains inside.
I hope what's there is still there.
In October 2006, Messier was last seen leaving a party in Waitsfield in his red pickup.
Courier tells me at this point, she just wants to know what happened to her brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're probably wondering right now, what am I holding in my hand? What is in this picture frame? Now, let me just tell you that this picture frame entitles me to change my name. Not only does it change my name, it changes who I am. I am now officially holding a certificate in this frame that certifies me as Lord. I am also known now as Lord Douglas Bishop. That's right. At establishedtitles.com. You may be asking yourself, what is established titles? Well, let me tell you this. If you use our promo code we're gonna give you, you're gonna have access to own 1 square foot of land. That 1 square foot of land is going to make you a lord or a lady. Title Packs gives you at least 1 square foot of land in Edelston, Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number as well that'll give you access to its exact location. Not only are you going to receive one of these same exact certificates that makes you an official lady and or a lord, Established Titles is going to plant 1 tree to help global reforestation. How amazing is that? The kicker is, Established Titles told me directly that the first 200 people that hit the link in the description and use our promo code is gonna have their square foot of land right next to mine. The first 200 people now, don't run to do it, but please run to do it, because I want your square foot of land right next to mine. And I want to see 200 trees in the next hour planted right next to mine. This makes an amazing Christmas gift. Like, you guys should have saw me when I opened this up and saw that I'm officially a lord, smiling from ear to ear. This is really, really cool. It's not just a novelty gift, it's just a real deal gift to gift anybody. You want to impress somebody, you want to be different, that different gift that has an impact on the world. You're going to get a tree planted, you're going to have an official 1 square foot plot of land. This is one of the best gifts you can give somebody. Now, before we get back to the episode, I really want to encourage anybody out there who wants a really cool, amazing gift that's going to make an impact on a creative level, as well as help global reforestation. Hit the link in the description below, use our promo code, and I want to see your square foot of land right next to mine.
"16 years after Donald Messier's disappearance, a major break in the case, as divers found a red Ford F-150 at the bottom of the Winooski River believed to be the same truck Messier was driving the day he disappeared.
If you haven't seen episodes 1 and 2 of the first 2 days of this search, please check those out now. For those of you who have not seen those, we're gonna give you a quick overview right now. So Donnie went missing October 15th of 2006. He was driving a red 1997 Ford F-150 dual cab pickup, license plate number BGG890. That's Bravo Golf 890. Donnie was last seen at a party at a location that was about 10 to 15 miles north of here, and it was about 2 a.m. when he left that party. He might have had a few drinks, so maybe slightly intoxicated, we don't really know. There are some witness statements out there that say that he wasn't super intoxicated, but who knows. So, it's obviously dark, it's October, the temperature that night got down to 31, 32 degrees, so there could have been some ice on the road. Earlier on too, there were some witness statements saying that perhaps he was feeling a little depressed and he was drinking for the wrong reasons. Next thing I'm gonna show you here, this is a map that Bill has put together. Now, Bill, can you explain to the viewers why and how you have such knowledge of this area?
So I graduated from Norwich University in 1995 and spent a lot of time up in Vermont during that time. So I put a search azimuth together by literally looking at every one of the locations that Donnie frequented, whether it be Denny's or Domino's in Burlington, Vermont and Winooski, to the locations that he went to for the races that he went to at the Thunder Roads racetracks in Barrie, to his trips to Waitsfield. And so what we did is I put a circular map together of most of his travel patterns where he stayed within that in his life pattern. And then cross-reference that where the center of the map around his house being the center of all of those trip lines that he would go on, whether it be in the vehicle or whatnot. So in the end, what we did is the Adventures with Purpose had started with the Waterbury Reservoir, which is in the central section of the search. And what we ended up looking at is, at the end of this trip, let me just put a little piece here for you. We were going to go back at one point in the search to the Waterbury Reservoir because it was under construction back when Jared came here the first time.
Yeah, so just for those of you that don't know, about a year ago, Adventures with Purpose came up here to work this same case. I wasn't on that trip, but Doug and Jared were, and one of the places that they were able to search was this Waterbury Reservoir. At the time of that search, there was some construction going on this location of the lake over here by the dam. They weren't able to search. So this was another location that was on our list for this year's trip that we were looking for Donnie.
And if you look at the map, that is the Waterbury Reservoir is in the central circle where they cross over. So this circle to go to the racetrack and this circle to go to Burlington and Denny's, the center of that is the Waterbury Reservoir and the Winooski River. And ironically, in the end, we found Donnie right on the corner of that circle on the straight azimuth of the middle of both search circles. So our first search of the day on day one, we went to Blueberry Lake as our first location because it had two means of egress as well as a large hillside off the main road. So we went to Blueberry Lake, came in the backside to the parking area, put the boats in and looked at Blueberry Lake, found that for the most part, the deepest section was 9.5 feet, but there was nothing in that location. So we moved down the road to Hartshorn Farm, which is very close to the Kenyon Farm, where the party was. We went to that location, searched every one of the ponds. The family allowed us onto the property. We cleared that area and moved on from there and started working our way towards the Winooski River. The reason why the Winooski was a very key point is Vermont doesn't have, on Google Earth, you're not able to really zoom in on the road itself and have a road view, but there were pictures on the Duxbury site showing 10-foot drop-offs and 9-foot and 15-foot drop-offs along the river's edge. And when Donnie comes home, what he would do is he would take back roads, and those back roads come River Road. River Road's a dirt road starting from Route 100, coming over the bridge. It's a dirt road. So in 2006, the roads, according to the locals, that were very muddy in this section, and kids would come out here at high rates of speed and play in the dirt. In this section where we were actually sitting at, they would do donuts in this field. This is actually a town property, so it wasn't really monitored that much, so guys would come out here and play. I had a really good sense that this was the location. Actually, I have a 17-year-old daughter I was up here with, and she said, Winooski River's where he is. And so when Nick and I started to talk about it, He said, well, it's only 6 inches to a foot in here. I said, but there are deep holes. So in this section, not only do you have some bends and turns in the road that go right along these edges where he could have come in, but there's also, this is a horse track that kids used to play on. This is an area that they used to frequent with four-wheelers as well as trucks. So we had a feeling that there was a potential for this area to be, in the top priority. On our list of locations, we had 14 locations. This was number 3 on the map.
So when we come into this case, we're looking at a couple different things. One is potential accident scenario after he left the party, depending on which direction he went, where he was going. And the second is a potential self-harm scenario where, because of the fact that he was drinking and maybe he was already in a depressed state, maybe that intensified his emotions, and maybe he left that party with some ulterior motives that nobody was aware of. So that's why we had to go into this case and look at all these different scenarios, all these waterways in these areas, and that's why we have so many areas to search. And at first it's a little daunting, but when you start breaking it down and start following the routes, as daunting as it is, you just have to start process of elimination, knocking them out, checking them off the list, and keep searching these waterways until you either clear them all or find what you're looking for. Oh, look at that. They've got this all settled in. So I don't know if you guys could see yesterday, but this particular embankment was it's all dirt, muddy. And the wrecker that's coming in to get this vehicle out of the water is a very big piece of equipment. So they brought in some big rock here and flattened it out and made a nice solid place so they can park the wrecker, put out the stabilizers, and hopefully, piece of cake, they can reach over there. The divers can hook up the rigging to the vehicle, and then they can just get that thing out of the water safely and hopefully intact, and then start doing their investigation to find out what the cause of this accident was. They're getting ready to bring the dive team in, and I can see them right there coming around the corner. So they're relocating all these vehicles closer inland to leave room for the dive team, and plus that, they don't want the vehicles to get trapped in case of an emergency. They can. Scuba teams have just arrived from the Vermont State Police. They're getting in position. As soon as they do and they get out, I'll go talk to them and tell them that we're here for any assistance that they may need. We've got our dredger already out. We'll go just give them a briefing of what we saw, see what we can do to help make this happen as quickly as possible. There's the bed. As you can see, it's pretty filled with pea gravel and whatnot. It's weird, the hood's gone, but the visor that was above the windshield is still sitting there. Now this is the passenger side. One of the tires is still sticking up a little bit, and the tailgate was down. And there's a lot of kind of gravel in the back, sand, gravel. And just so you know, the front of the vehicle is facing upstream, back is facing downstream, so it's pretty much parallel to the river.
With the hurricane, though, there's no...
Right, you're right.
He could have gone in miles up, you know.
Do you think it would push a vehicle that far?
The Hurricane Irene,
oh, really?
We were devastated from that. All of Waterbury flooded.
I don't think it's moved.
No?
The way it sits. It's in a deep hole, and the only hole, everything else is 6 to 12 inches deep.
Okay.
I guess that would be surprising though, right? Like that the roof took that much damage compared to like the rest. Does it
Well,
look?
I mean, it depends on how he impacted too. If it damaged the roof enough to just start it peeling back, and then if the truck had enough sediment in it that it wouldn't float, like maybe in the hurricane when the waters were so high, it could have just slowly kind of tore the roof. if it started with some damage in a corner?
The passenger side door, they were closed. The passenger side door, you'll see, is actually broken and dented down and out, but it's not unlocked. So as if it took a heavy hit.
And then we started working our way towards the back. And you'll see the tailgate down here in a minute, kind of like the previous footage. And then after that, it took Dan and I 10 to 15 minutes to dig the pea gravel out. We tried to lift the tailgate up to get to it. That wasn't working, so one of the cables was pretty loose, so we snapped that free, spun the tailgate out of the way, and were able to dig down to the license plate. The back of the vehicle's downstream, so obviously maybe 10 to 15 feet behind that may be worth sifting through too, because stuff might have...
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to get, if we can get that vehicle out once we empty that, we're gonna try to get what's around where it is, I mean, the hood and the...
right, they've got to be somewhere.
They could be, you know...
But they could be miles down.
Right. They could be a ways, or they could be buried under that sill as well, so...
Anyway, so...
All right, thank you for showing us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So we got them the information that they need for now. Now it's in their hands. I'm sure at some point they'll come over and ask for our assistance with the dredger, because as you can see, the thing's pretty full of pea gravel. It's going to take them a few hours to get anywhere for that recovery. I think yesterday they were talking about first trying to go into the vehicle and actually specifically looking for remains, and then worry about getting the vehicle out. So we'll wait and see what their plan is, and we'll go from there. So Jared and I just went down there and helped them get the dredger set up, and talked about how they're gonna maybe make enough hose to make it over there. Hopefully they have enough.
I mean, I'm almost
it's gonna be close.
Yeah, kind of scared they might be like 10 feet short.
Right, so they may have to go get some more hose, but we got them set up on that, so they were stoked. Looks like they're divers. They've already got a diver that was just coming out of the water. They got buoys on the vehicle. They got a diver buoy up for marking to stay 200 feet out of the area. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. They got a lot of divers ready to go in the water. They got their whole setup. Looks like they're gonna, pump all that pea gravel out of there and sift through it, see if they can find any remains and any evidence, and go from there. That's the jacket. I feel like that's a really good sign. Just the fact that there's been a lot of current and stuff moving through this area over the years. It's been 16 years. If the jacket was just out in the open, chances to me personally feel like it would have been flushed out of the vehicle by now. The fact that it's been contained in there for so long underneath all the stuff, that gives me a pretty good feeling that possibly it was the jacket he was wearing the night he disappeared. I feel like they're getting closer, and you can see there's still got divers in the water, at least one. I can't tell if it's just one. Oh, there's two divers in the water. The dredger's still rolling, so they're still working. My guess is right now they're doing two things. They're both sifting through material looking for remains, and they're clearing out the vehicle itself, getting it prepped to hook onto a wrecker. The wrecker's on standby up here, so it could be in the next 30 minutes, it could be in the next couple hours, but we're gonna stick around, and we're gonna see it through till the end. And if you haven't done so yet, please get on YouTube and check out Down Under Dan and subscribe He's doing great things over there in Australia. He's looking for missing people just like we are here. It's great to see this movement has gone worldwide. So please give him some support. Watch his videos, like, subscribe, and share. And we appreciate everything you've done for us. So help Dan here, Down Under Dan on YouTube. Thank you.
That little wrecker ain't gonna pull it.
No.
They can't block it enough. That's the problem unless they hook to a tree.
No, the winch is maxed out.
Oh, it is maxed?
Yeah. It's got it on its side right now. It's on its side.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is it really?
No, we can do it. Now they flip the truck over.
You want to see? That's
So you look through the binoculars and you can tell?
yeah. So driver's side fender flare. That's what it looks like.
So they flipped it.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't just get a bigger record.
Oh, yes. I thought they were gonna bring a crane from Charlie Boys, maybe.
Here, one's over there. I've watched you guys get out vehicles holding the integrity of its contents at its highest priority. Holding together vehicles that were literally pieces of paper and getting them out in a compact package. This is heartbreaking. I hope the family can have what they need once this is done. I hope what's there is still there. I just think about like your equipment sitting in that truck right there, right? Your float bags, your whatever. You guys would know how to do it. You would know how to hook it. You would know how to turn it and lift it. You would have told them what kind of equipment they needed, whether that truck was big enough. Heartbreaking. I don't know if this is ego or what it is. But it's not right by the family. It's not right by the family to sit here and watch this.
Well, they found a watch. I saw the picture of the watch, and it was hard to tell whether it was still clasped.
The family said it was still clasped.
Oh, it was? Okay, well that's a good sign. If we would have the go at it, we would have had this taken care of probably several hours ago, but you know, it's not our place. We got to let law enforcement do their thing. So we're just watching and observing and seeing what things in the future that could go better. But we've now been here for 9.5 hours. It's basically, I think, 5 o'clock, and we arrived at 7:30 this morning. And they were just still finishing up the excavation of the location where they're all parked at now. And at 5 o'clock, we still don't have the vehicle above the water. So it's just a time-consuming process all the way around. They have their own dive team here. And so if anything, this is a good way for them to get practice. I don't know how many real-life scenarios they get throughout the year. It might just be a lot of training. So hopefully the benefit that'll come from this is all these people that are involved today can put this in their book of notes and maybe have a debriefing afterwards, an after-action review, and talk about what went right, what went wrong, how could we have done this better in the future. So let's hope it's a learning experience for everyone. So right now they're decontaminating the divers. They're washing their gear. That's actually a really good way to do it. And then they also brought in a rotator. So they got a way bigger tow truck that's gonna help because the smaller one that they got was struggling. So they brought in the big dog. They're gonna get those out of there. They got divers on standby ready to go back in and re-rig this one. So hopefully within the next hour, we should make some progress and get it out of there.
Yeah, go. Ready to go.
Tonight, police have found the truck belonging to a Waterbury man missing for nearly 16 years.
Messier has been missing for over a decade and a half. And Adventures with Purpose, an independent search group, found the truck Tuesday afternoon and alerted police shortly after. In October 2006, Messier was last seen leaving a party in Waitsfield in his red pickup, and he was reported missing when he didn't show up for work. Police have not been able to locate Messier since then, and Adventures with Purpose, an independent search group that produces a YouTube show, started working on the case last year independent from the police. They say they didn't find anything originally, but new information from locals in Waterbury caused them to come back this year.
Donald Messier was driving his red 1997 Ford F-150. Courier says her brother liked to drive around the region as an escape.
You know, my brother was the kind of person that would give you the shirt off his back. If he had $5 and you needed $4, he'd give you $5, just to ensure that you were taken care of.
tells me at this point she just wants to know what happened to her brother.
We would love closure, just to know what happened, so we're not wondering. I mean, at this point, it's been almost 15 years, so we're realistic. We know that the likelihood of him being found alive is extremely unlikely, but I think we still just need the answers.
Get through and we'll sing hallelujah, but what is that to you right now? But let's talk in a way that can give us some faith to go around.